What is going on, everybody? How's it going? Happy Thursday. Got some a lot of books for me this week. I got about I forgot that the volume's on this. That ain't good. All right. Sorry about that. I almost got copyrighted by Google. They're stupid ads. Actually, can you be? I don't know. But hello to Maranya and Maranya. And that's it, because there's really no one else here. I don't understand it. Why? Did everyone just freeze in the ice age that's going on right now? But I don't know. Maybe we're just too happy here, too chipper. We need to be angry and just say, "Oh yeah, comic books suck today. You know, they're horrible. Don't buy anything. Quit supporting Disney. Blah blah blah." Or should just be like I should just be like Richard and just react to Wes. Then maybe people will notice me. That doesn't work either, though, unfortunately. So you guys know the deal. We got books to show off this week. I got a nice healthy stack here. I've got at least about 10 new books, plus some back issues. Came out this week. This is original paper. The only thing that's different is that it's got the new cover, a little little coloring changes, but it has the $13 on there. So for those of you who think, it's a brand new book, it's not. Well, it is, and it isn't. Facsimile. But I'll go through it a little bit. Okay, here's the cover here. Of course, we have the back cover here, which has the UPC on it. So my question is, why keep the $13 on there if you're going to have the UPC with the price in the back? I guess so people don't, confuse it. I mean, I would not confuse this with the original for how bright it is compared to people who have the original. It's probably faded and kind of dull looking. But it is nice to have this in giant form for when I get to your age, Breen, so I can read it. Size 14 font. I can read it. Yeah. But it's cool. It's original newsprint. And I don't know if it has ads in it or nothing. I don't think the original did. But it has a little thing in the back. As far as I know, there's no ads. But like I said, it is newsprint paper. And it is treasury size edition, so it is pretty huge. Normal size comic book compared to that. So definitely worth it. Unless you already own it, then I would say you probably don't need to spend $13 on it though. But I get a discount at my shop. All right. So this week, I do have some back issues and some nice new issues. Starting with the new issues, we're going to go with our number 10 here, which is Resident Alien, issue number 4. There's only one more one shot after this, and that'll be the season. That'll be the series finale. They're not doing any more of these, which honestly is sad because I've been reading it since it came out. The only problem with this book is that the writers are just it's becoming dull and more dull. And that's why it's at the bottom of the pile. I'm only going to. It's not like horrible mischaracterization, like Cantwell writing Iron Man or Bendis writing Iron Man, but it is the point where I'm like, there's nothing happening in the book that really remotely interests me. And actually, I gotta go out and buy the new book. I just got it because I wanted to finish the story, and that's all it was. It's like watching Cody and on Raw finish the story, and then that's it, and it's like, okay, I'm done. But of course, they made contact with the FBI, the aliens did, and now and left a box for them to pick up. Let them know that, hey, you now, because this Harry's daughter is, because it's a hybrid, now the Earth is now invited to join the coalition of planets. And so they make their presence known and let them know, like, hey, so we're gonna have we'll, in exchange for you guys, working with us, decreasing your nuclear power stocks and stuff, and then promoting peace and all that stuff, kumbaya. We'll give you technology to help you as far as help you evolve as a nation, as a world. And so his buddies, basically his other alien cousins, are going to go around the world and basically talk to the other foreign leaders. And he says, like, well, you're not going to kill them, are you? He's like, no. The ones that don't want to join with us, they'll just get left behind, and we won't give them the technology to help prosper and live longer. So, meanwhile, the mayor and his now wife finally gave birth to their newborn baby. And they still haven't figured out a name on it. And they even joked about naming it Harry. Harry, because was along with the doctor, he had stopped off. He's now back to being the doctor full time, filling in for Ethan because Ethan got drunk and shot himself in the hand. And basically, Astra talks about, and it's like, he said, back there you called me your wife, but we're not really married. He's like, well, do you want to get married? She's like, well, marriage is just a basic ceremony. I don't need a ceremony. In our words, I believe we already are married and stuff. So like you said, it's pretty much just saying goodbye to his relatives. They're going to go promote peace and stuff. It's really a nothing burger. So if you're thinking, they're like, go, you watch the show and you're going to come watch, you're going to read this, I do recommend, if you're a fan of the show, don't pick this book up, because this book is nothing like the show. The show is all about comedy and, like, it does have heartfelt moments, but this is just straight up the opposite. It's serious, and it's going to do a 180 on you, and you're not really going to like it as much. But I'll say this: if you were enjoying this and you have not watched the TV show, I do recommend the TV show. The TV show is a superior to the book, but the book does have its merits early on. But like I said, I know I get it because I'm a completionist when it comes to this thing. I want to see how it ends. And there's only going to be one more. It's a one shot at the end of this. And it looks, yep, one more for the road. So, all right. On to number 9. Kill All Immortals. In the first series, the first round of series, the first, I guess, first season, you call it, because it seems like a second season story. Their second time around. And in the original, basically, we had Eric the Red and a bunch of Vikings discovered this alien technology, allowed them to live forever. They became ruthless as they argued with the mortals. And the daughter basically wants to tear down and basically destroy what's keeping them immortal. And at the end, she succeeds, killing the world tree, making them mortal. But then it revealed that there's 6 other families that are mortal, just like them, that now want to kill them. And so the family is forced to work together. And as they go through this book here, it's revealed that by removing and killing taking on the world trees, it makes the other trees grow stronger and can actually end up there's a balance of power. And by destroying these balance of power and basically making it one-sided, you threaten to actually destroy the world. So, yeah, new problems. This is Zach Kaplan. It's the guy who did that. I think it was called Eclipse. Well, back there, Ash on Comics. You know what it is, but the guy we used to hang out with, he would read comic books, lullabies, at nighttime, and he read that, said it was a dystopian world. So, overall, the interior for this book, I'm liking it. It's a lot of action, straight up people, a lot of gore. And then there's parts of where it's basically kind of like, people being civil. Yeah. overall, is it if you read the first series, I know Breen, you didn't really care for it at the end, but I would encourage you maybe in the future to pick it up and check it out. Now I'm not gonna say it's a nothing burger series so far, but it's also not really like, oh my gosh, you have to read this. And I come across a lot of books where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to read this. There's a lot there that are just not that level. But I would say this is slightly above average. So if you're looking to like on a sunny day, whatever, or a rainy day, looking to read a comic book that you haven't read, this will get you through. I also like the fact I've always been attracted to like things with vampires and just immortality and people having to like take away that immortality and stuff. So that's why the plot is kind of like dragging me forward, and this, I'm looking forward to the next issue. But number 8, Nemesis Forever. Now I thought this was the final issue, but it turned out there's another issue after this. And last we left, we had this is I want to point out this is Matteo Scalera doing the art in here. Last we left, the Germans basically strung a trap on him, and this is after he released this poisonous gas. Instantly, you breathe it within 5 minutes or even 5 seconds, you will die. No, I want to zoom in now. Sorry about that. My camera is really weird now. There it goes. So, and he's got about like 500 or more SWAT guys with gears and the gas mask on, and he's going to holding his breath, and you're going to kill him. And it turns out his comms person basically betrayed him, but then someone comes through, and a bus basically like runs over people. He was able to basically get a gun, shoot people, grab a gas mask, and he hides inside the armored tank, and he's screwed. He's like, what am I going to do here? So then he takes his high frequency emitter, kind of like Batman has. It's trained to like his bats. He puts it up to the speaker, so because all the cops are on intercoms, and he uses that, and he basically blasts it out, causing their gas mask to crack, the lens crack, and he runs them over and kills them. Gets away. Of course, back he goes back to the people, and they all have like, if you remember watching The Running Man, they all have those collars on their necks, like are kind of like Suicide Squad, earlier version, basically. And he ends up blowing up one of the comms lady who failed him, who didn't inform him that he was running into a trap. And meanwhile, the undercover operative, she's been feeding the FBI and CIA kind of like info. She has a recorded. They planted a camera in her eye. They actually cut, because this is the perfect opportunity, because the lady who she's supposed to be posing as was missing eye, so they actually went in and she volunteered, and they cut her eye out and put a camera in, so they can like talk to her, and she doesn't even have to like communicate at all. Like, she can just basically without speaking, just by blinking or reacting. But they end up with Nemesis going down and seeing the Ra's al Ghul character, and saying, like, dude, I keep having like these nightmares where I'm gonna die, and but I don't want to die because I have so much unfinished business. He's like, he appeals to him. He says, before when the heroes ruined everything, came back, you were ruling the whole world. Now you're just hiding here like a snake in here. It's like, what if I could give you the subjugation of mankind again? So with he's gonna give him basically a ritual. The ritual is called the Reversal of Origin, and rejects Enlil's plan of natural life and death. Anyone who wrongs you will suffer for their crimes. Anyone who slays you will die by your hand later, making him immortal. Also in this, the undercover spy figures out one thing. While this is going on, he targeted some other businessmen, and because everybody's wondering, why is Nemesis like doing all this stuff? Well, They thought it was for money and power, and like and all, but it's not. It's not even for that. And then she figures out who he actually is, the real identity of him, of Nemesis. It's not Matthew. It's Hans Berg, the world's richest man. And she says, like, I think he's been Nemesis all along. So I'm wondering if this is a new Nemesis, or this has always been the Nemesis that's been around before Big Game. But at the end, they're sent on a mission to go do something for Nemesis, and because she has that receiver on there, they can hear everything that she hears and stuff. So they basically know the plan is going to happen, and they're all set up with cops and stuff. Meanwhile, she's pregnant, and she hasn't told anybody. And her goal is basically, I'm going to kill Nemesis, or basically, but I'm thinking like, she knows she's screwed either way because she has a neck collar on herself, so she can't betray him, and she's determined to kill Nemesis. Put an end to this. All right, number 7 is Teen Titans Go for Home for the Holidays, which we'll be reading this on next Monday. And part of our 2-issue reading that we do. So it is what it is. Basically, what it is what it shows on here. They go to the Doom Patrol, basically home for Christmas. And now here's one thing I really didn't care for. That's probably the only thing that brings it down for me from being like a perfect score. Elastigirl was race swap for no reason. They just changed their race. I don't know why. It doesn't say here. We also don't have Negative Man. As you see in here, we have Negative Girl. And Robot Man is he's like German. It's weird. All right. So it starts off with them in the car, and they're heading over there, and they get to Conville, and they're like, she's like, Surfer's like, oh, I cannot wait to have the holly and the jolly Christmas with the Doom Patrol, and Raven's pretty much like, well, I know it's family, but too bad Beast Boy has to be there, and they all laugh as they go there. There's a lot of bonding between the robots, Negative Girl and Raven get along together. And then, of course, we have... They talk about how every year, Madame Rouge tries to wreck the halls. And they kind of go overboard a little bit. And you can see, like, characters outside the window. You see the Breen. And then he falls over, but like so later in the book they showed her, but they talk about how she's a shape changer and how she would ever since Beast Boy was little, you get a little Beast Boy, a little Elastic, and a Negative Girl, and she poses Santa Claus destroying thing, but it turned out to be a Madame Rouge fighting. So a lot of hijinks. Pretty much they hear ticking. Cyborg is a ticking, so they end up destroying the presents because they think it's a bomb. But then they get into a food fight in the middle of the story too as well. And then Beast Boy shows up towards one, and it's a very fun issue, typical Teen Titans Go humor, and I would check it out. This is written by now. This one is see here. Yeah, this is Jay Torres, which hasn't been my favorite writer for this. I've always liked Charlie Fish, or even when I think Ian Cohen is also done with too as well. Amanda Diebert. But yeah, the Jay Torres is it was still fun. It's just that I just some of the humor didn't hit as well as some as the other issues, but overall, it's a very good episode or issue, and it is safe for your children. And he said it is $2.99. So even if you're an adult, this is pretty much for I think it's 8 and up. That's what he said here. Ages 8 and up. It's a fun book. All right, number 6 is the Phantom, number 3. This is cover A, and this is Ray Fox with Russell Olson, Taylor Esposito on the inking. Basically, this group of mercenaries are taking over the village, and the Phantom's trying to protect the village. And at this point, they think he's a myth. They don't really the bad guys, and he's trying to save the medicine here because there's in the refrigerator that they're basically stealing all the supply, the medical supplies that this little village has, and they need it for the chief who is like really sick and dying. And so he does his best to take out the goons while also saving the medicine. Of course, someone gets his damage. The helicopter, or basically like so people that were basically hired for the bad guys. Once she realizes, because he punches a guy in the face with his ring, so leaves the Phantom imprint. So when this guy goes for seeking help, she's like, "Fuck no, are you the Phantom? I ain't fucking around with that." So she leaves him there. They'll die, and she's just gonna leave. Meanwhile, you also got the bad guy. He's like, who's being talked by the chief's son, and chief's son's like, it's like, dude, you do well to surrender or leave. The Phantom, is going to basically take you down. And the guy is like, the Phantom. He's like, what a myth, It's like, scary legend. He's like, the Phantom, was alive when my grandfather's alive. He's dead. There's no Phantom, and so, of course, the Phantom does. He's going around the scenes taking out guards. Then the chief's son, who's basically left to die because the guy says like, "Well, we'll leave you be here," and then he says like, "Kill the guy," in like 20 minutes, we don't really need him at all. So he fights back because he's also been trained. He's also a friend of this Phantom, and he spars with them as well. And basically, the Phantom, he grabbed the 2 remaining vials of medicine that weren't destroyed, gives us this guy and says, "Hey, I know I don't want to cause you a problem, but can you please put this in your refrigerator? Keep it cold. It's for the chief." The guy does it, but then they decided the bad guys cut the power. So he's like, "Oh shit!" So now I have to get everything done faster because they turned the power off. That means their refrigerators are off, and basically the goal is basically the guy says, he's talking to his man. He's like, if the Phantom's real, we'll make him a Phantom, and when this guy shows up, we'll just kill him, make his move. And that's, so he has snipers on different angles, and you get the insight. It's all like the purple. Love this. The self-narration dialogue is from the Phantom. So he's explaining what he's going to do and the risk if he does this, it's going to cause this. He's trying to figure out how to do what he's going to do. And the bad guy, typical bad guy, here, I don't care who he is. Like, just find a hut that's occupied people, barricade it in, and then light it on fire. We'll draw out the Phantom. And of course, that's what he can do, but it leaves it on a cliffhanger here because the Phantom's right behind him. And this guy's got to throw a Molotov cocktail in the building where those people are. And it leaves it for issue 4 coming up. This is my first Phantom series reading, and I gotta say it is really good. I do like the fact that the Phantom in here does mention, he's like, "Man, I'd rather be with my girlfriend right now." It's like, so these stupid villagers, I could be having this, he's talking about the food she'd be making right now and stuff, and he describes how he just wants to be with her, and instead these people have to make problems.
Is his girlfriend still Diane Palmer?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Diana. I left Diana with a kiss, but now I do anything to be back there with her again. He says she's back there in the Skull Cave waiting for me. She knows not to show herself while the village is under a gun. I love her so much. Yeah. So I'm guessing this is the same Phantom that's in the Defenders of the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah. The art changed the style a little bit, though, during the interior stuff, but overall, it's a fun story. Top 5. Speaking of fun story, it's another character. I never really cared for the cartoon character and Hanna-Barbera version, but Jimmy Palmiotti has been putting a new spin on it, and I'm liking it. You basically he's having this dream. He doesn't know why, but like they're being he's in a suit, and Dynomutt's there too, and it's called Nature of the Game. And as Pascal Colano doing the art, and Jorge Sutil on the colors. But every dream he wakes up, he has this constant nightmare where basically they're overrun and they basically run to die, and and he wakes up and his girlfriend's there, or former girlfriend, the redhead, and she says like, oh, it's like it's like you need to rest, and this is really cool. We get this cool interaction with Dynomutt. He's the blue dialogue, and and he just has this conversation with he's like, man, he asked with that night when he got shot, how much do you remember? It's like, he's like, oh, it's like, I'm sorry, boy, and like, he says like, and the dog, if a dog could speak, the dog says like, dude, no, like, dude, like, you're my best friend. It's like, you saved my love, buddy. That is all that matters. It's like, it's like, and it's so it's just the dog. I love how the dog, it's just so like awesome in this. Dino can actually pinpoint where the belt is because Beast Woman, aka his new girlfriend, when he was in the hospital, stole his belt and left with it. So he's like, he tells Bradley's ex-girlfriend, he's like, don't worry about it. I can only get track of it, but I can also fashion 2 more. One for me and one for one for Bradley. And is it Radley or Bradley? I think it's Bradley, right? Well, so it's Radley. Okay, that's why it's so weird. I'm so used to Bradley. Okay, it's Radley Crown. And so she decides to go pay his ex-girlfriend, his name's Dr. Maya Vincent. So with the help of Dynomutt, she pinpointed on her app where she can basically trace the belt, and this leads them to this not jungle, but this it's called does it say that actually what's the big? It's called Big City Zoo. That's all it is.
Big
and
City.
I know, right? Zoo. Yeah, scorpions love it. Big city. Nice. Anyway, they're in the lion's den here too, and then she's talking to these guys who basically wanted the belt, and then basically they have something on her. It's like it's like yeah. So basically, 2 million acres of prime Amazon rainforest, and then her debt is to be erased, and then in exchange for the belt. The guy tries it on. And he's like, "Oh, I can fly," but then he slams into like the ceiling part there, and he falls into the lion pit, and the lion just eats him. And so the main guy is like, "Oh, once it's done eating, go get the belt," because then he's like, retrieve my belt. And then she goes, and then she does a little strip tease, takes her clothes off, and changes her outfit from Beast Woman into her, and then of course she gets caught, and then in this phase, she basically 2 girls catfight kind of like thing, and she's like, because she's like, you only went right for his invention, you never were you're in love with him, and she's like, well, I got bad news for you, lady. I called Blue Falcon, he's on his way right here now to put your skinny butt in jail. And the bad girls is like, skinny, get your eyes checked, doc. It's pretty as a peach and just as tasty. Ask your ex-boyfriend if you don't believe me. We know the boy in shape is no blue. Blue is no shape, but still, I don't trust anyone that annoying robot dog of his. So basically, she's forced to go with her, to take her hostage. Meanwhile, it's been a couple of days. He's now up in his costume, and the dog and him and just have another conversation. He's like, because he was in Stasis mode, he's like, BF, you're up. It's like, I figured I refreshed while you got some rest. He's like, good boy, come here. Aww. He's like, I'm so sorry I wasn't there to save you, my friend. I don't forgive you. He's like, it's not your fault, BF. And they have like a little heart-to-heart conversation again. And he's like, don't worry about the belt. I made one for you, one for me. And they get the little heroic pose, and then they go out. And but he's like, we need to go help your Maya, because Maya went to go track the belt, and now they said, where's the belt? At the airport. And so they realize they're too late. So he says, don't worry, I have enough power. I'll just transform to a rocket engine. He's like, hang on. And they go, and he's like, I do recommend, though, that you put your oxygen mask on, because they do catch a plane, and they end up catching a ride all the way to the Amazon. Meanwhile, the guy who got the belt, he gave it to his redhead, person, assistant, and she's gonna start making copies of the belt. So that's another ongoing problem. But they end up getting into the jungle here, and you get a little history. Now this is the thing too. It's like Dynomutt. I've never been to the Amazon. This place is just so beautiful. Well, actually, the Amazon is one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. It's also the home to 2.5 million insect species, 427 mammal species, 1,300 bird species, and 400 amphibian species. He's like, amazing. Well, the not so great part is that we lose about 12 million acres a year to deforestation driven by corporations. In just 5 years, we will lose about 55% of what's left, greed being the driving force behind what a lot is going on. And he's like, Bradley's like, well, it makes me think maybe I've been fighting the wrong fight all these years. In Dynomutt, there are many groups doing their best to push back, but in the end, progress has its way. Ah, yes, the almighty dollar, the great object of universe devotion. And Dynomutt's, Washington Irving from his story, the Creole village. Look below, this must be the place. And I was like, I didn't need the freaking Amazon history lesson, Jimmy. That's my only negative about this book.
Yeah, it sounds like it's got fairly political there.
Right there, that section there. I was like, that whole top section here. Here. I was like, I don't need that. That's cool, species, but it just sounds like every freaking 90s freaking cartoon. It's like, oh, but about the Amazon? I don't give a shit about the Amazon, okay? It's fine. It's been here forever. It's not going away. So at the end, it just shows them, he rides the place, and he's like, oh, Blue Falcon, it's you. It's like, we've been expecting you, as a classic villain. But that's the end of the issue. Other than that little, history fact, whatever, little politic thing, the book was actually really good. I've been enjoying it. It's been fun. All right, now we're getting the meats and potatoes here. Number 4 is G.I. Joe number 15, Dreadnought War, part 3 of 5. Josh Williamson with Tom Rowley on art and Jordy Belair doing the coloring. And it's just been just so much fun. They don't give you a recap on the interior page, though. It tells you credits and stuff. But yeah, so it's basically Duke versus the big pig guy with the cinder block hammer. Who he cornered in the last issue. Had to deal with him. The commander is gone. I love this. The art here, when he gets hit, they put the word Thum on the actual bottom of the cinder block, and he's kind of like injured. And of course, he gets chained up, drags him, and then he's hung up on a hanger. And then it's pretty much kind of like very action cinema. So now he's hanging there. He's like, "Oh, you're alive," and they have a conversation. He's like, wants to know. As the guy goes outside, he wants the Dreadnought show up, and they're confronted by the guy with the warthog face. His mask, his dog's there, and they fight a little bit too. The guy with the chainsaw somehow is able to carve into the cinder block without destroying its chain, which I find that hard to believe because it can't cut through cement. No chainsaw again, unless you have specific type, not chainsaw, but the ones they use for concrete. But anyway, so he pulls out his new hammer. And he's like, it's like, okay, let's go. Takes his helmet off, and then meanwhile, General General Hawk, or is it General Colonel? Oh, it's Colonel Hawk. Colonel Hawk shows up, and he has a meeting, and he's alarmed to find that his Destro's there, and Destro says, like, well, we can work together and stuff. You have the conversation between the commander and Duke, and Duke says like is like, dude, I saved you because well, I need you have information I need, and you know what those robots are, and I think you're the key to all the crazy things in this world, and I'd love to get you in a room for some questions, you know. And he's like, well, you might not like my answers. And he's like, well, let's try one. Are you human? He's like, I do not wish to be. Okay, be vague then. He's like, no, I do not like our flesh, our mortality, how fragile this world is. I want to be something more than an ascend, you know. And he's like, I don't need to be a dang robot, says Duke. He's like, you're a fool then. He's like, I've been called worse. Next question. Why are these rednecks trying to kill you? And they basically admits that he took the energon for them because they're idiots. They had no idea what they had, and he stole from them. And the gross thing about this is like Commander has his helmet off, so he's very snake-like, and he's where did I see it? I think it was one of those pages. Oh, it's the other one here. You see the little eye on his forehead? It's gross. So then they're basically the Dreadnoks worked out. They start talking. They realize again that they're all buddies, and of course. The dude takes his mask off, and he looks like you'd think he'd look. A doofus. He ain't that bright. And they're gonna take out the bad guys but the commander says nope, and he bites the guy's neck, and the guy's not feeling well because I'm wondering because he's now snake because the I forget what they're called, the Cobra people. Now he has his own snake venom in his own glands because he's now snake, and they end up about to make a break for it though. But then the rest of the Dreadnoks show up and want to know and talk, and then they all want to get their revenge on him, and it's kind of how it ends with that. Meanwhile though, the meeting that Destro had with the commander. The Colonel Hawk, he revealed they said like, there's a lot you don't know about your own men. He's like, some of your men are actually working with these robots. He's like, oh, he doesn't go into further detail, but we know that Clutch has been working with a Hound, who's a Jeep right now, and and meanwhile Clutch in the back of the end, he says, everybody's gone. It's like we need to go after Duke. Duke's been missing. And so he's like, and Clever Girl's like, well, he's like, who are we gonna get? He's like, well, don't worry, I know somebody can help us out, meaning his Transformer buddy. So there's a lot of people keeping secrets from each other. Colonel Hawk has been keeping secrets from Duke, and Duke kind of doesn't really trust him as much. Clutch has also been keeping secrets from Duke and the Colonel. So it's a lot of revelations are going to come to head in the next issue or two. But really liking it. Hello to Ethereal Dragon. Hello to Cheeseburger and Comics. All right. Number 3 this week. Rook Exodus number 9. Ghost Machines kicking ass with this one too as well. If you do not like spiders, well, this isn't the book for you because they're trapped in with the Spider Warden and all his little fleshy like little spiders. And Dire Wolf and Matterhorn and Rook are just trying to get Dire Wolf's father because he's the only one who can restart the world machine. They'll basically terraform this planet so it could save all the animals and make it livable again. It's revealed throughout the book though that the Earth was pretty much heavily polluted and dying. Something you expect from anything like this. It's a desolate world, dystopia. It's kind of how it was in Cowboy Bebop, the anime. Same thing, was all Earth was just a junk planet. There's so much trash, they had nowhere to go with it, so everybody abandoned it. Same thing, kind of. So while they're battling downstairs, they got her father, he's basically synced with he's called the Mad Dog. He's got his rabid dogs who are fighting against the crows, which are controlled by I just said his name, Rook. And then the stags are by the new stag warden who showed up, who basically is holding her father, Direwolf's father, hostage, and he basically wants to kill him because, well, he killed, her father killed the stag or whatever. It doesn't really say what his name is, but it's basically the stag warden's wife. This cold-blooded killed her, and he wants to kill him. And so they're trying to work out a deal. And then, of course, in the middle of this, while they're fighting, it's just straight up crazy. This is Jason Fabok art here too. So if you're not familiar with Jason Fabok's art, everything is just crisp and clean, and I just love it. Brad Anderson doing the coloring on here, and the spiders start attacking them, and then they get caught in the webs. And these webs have some sort of venom in them. It allows them, they basically start hallucinating. He remembers the farm and stuff, and now he remembers his father turning into a giant spider guy creature, and then burning and then talking down him. Everything's distorted. Same thing happens with the girls. And then you see the full reveal of the guy and basically the spider mech thing. And then, of course, up there, we come across the Warthog from his best friend, who died, who's also been hanging out with Rook, and all. He keeps care of it. And they come across this, I guess like a boy or a girl. I guess like a girl. And yeah, it's just like, yeah, so she's like, just easy there, buddy, it's like, not gonna harm you. You're the first person I've seen in like forever. She's been living up there. And Donica, well, this is Dire Wolf. We get to see her. She was with the military back in the day, and she was, because of her status, of who she was, they wanted her to go to, I believe it, Donica is, yeah. So Donica is Dire Wolf, yeah, because she basically wanted to bring her dad along, but because her dad, after the mom died, they both were in the military. Her dad's kind of lost it and kind of was like became an alcoholic and just recluse, getting to fight stuff. And now her memory is being distorted too, because this is the guy who basically wanted to lead the Ark thing, and Noah's Ark, and he wanted her to be on there, and she's thinking about it, and she starts having problems. The guy mutates into a giant spider again. Then we get to see her dad popping up in the little thing. Of course, now this is Matterhorn. Her memories are all messed up too with her father, and he turns into a giant spider thing, and it's all negative stuff. He basically escapes Rook escapes his reality and realizes this isn't right. And the spider get him, and he basically wakes up. The spider guy is kind of like, how the heck are you awake? You're not supposed to be awake in this. You should be, knocked out. And he comes out, and Rook says to him, he's like, dude, we're just here to restart the world, the world engine. You'll be safe. And he's like, even you, the guy inside. He's like, and it turns out, because if you haven't reading, is that when you do a mind link with whatever you're controlling, sometimes they can take control of you. And I think that's what happened to her father, Dire Wolf's father. That's why he's controlled by the dogs versus him controlling the dogs. So the spiders are actually controlling this guy. And he's like, dude, help me, kill me. And then they take control of it again. And it is revealed, the shocking ending is why they finally know why the planet is the way it is, because the spiders decided to destroy the world engine. They want to watch all humans die. So basically the spiders are evil. And they've been keeping the meat puppet around, just for the kicks, yeah. That, and then we get a dossier in the back here for Matterhorn. So, in case you forget who these characters are, they gave a lot of a full dossier information on them too as well. Each book has a different character. I think the other one was trying to remember what the other issue they had, what the character was, but definitely fun. Jeff Johns is kicking ass on this. You have Jason Fabok's incredible art. I do recommend this if you were not reading this. Do check it out, especially if you like space sci-fi, kind of like a dystopian thing, Interstellar, or anything like that. and it's like a Noah's Ark, and they go to on the planet. The planet itself falling apart. Now we know why after all these issues. It's issue 9. Definitely check it out. It is only $3.99, and it is through Image, which is but Ghost Machine is the publisher, or I guess not the publisher, but the imprint. All right, now down to my final 2, and Criminal is in second place. I know you're probably disappointed, Breen, but it's such a fun story in this giant size Criminal. Leading up to where we're going to have Ricky going to be in the TV series, which I'm so excited for. And then Ricky Lawless in here. Hold on a second, I gotta sneeze. All right. Ricky Lawless basically is in debt. Talks about how he went into basically if he's like, he says just for me, if some asshole ever tells you he knows a horse that's for sure gonna win, the race is fixed. He knows the jockey, whatever. Don't fucking believe it. And now it's $25,000 in the hole with this bookie, Carl. And this guy, he doesn't treat him like shit, like they always do. The guy is like, you owe me money. There's this. He said, hey, at this hotel here, there's this guy. He's playing poker. And if he comes in second place, I want you to go to his hotel room, wait for him, then rob him, take the money. But of course, things go awry because, well, as I say, Ricky isn't that bright. Ricky poses as a waiter, and it's all from his self point of view. Him doing narration of boxes. He decides, he has to wait for this guy to come back to his hotel room. He decides, well, I got a little treat here. I'm going to do a little cocaine. But it turns out his buddy didn't give him cocaine. He put heroin into the little vial. So it causes Ricky to just melt. And just basically have problems. And he's happy. He starts watching TV, orders room service. And before he knows it, he takes another bump, and then he's throwing up in the bathroom. He ends up an escort shows up, or at least what he thinks it is. He can't remember. Maybe he's just looking at porn or whatever, but in his fucked up mind, she shows up. They end up having sex, and at the end, you see her. She's looking for something, and he's not. Okay, what are you looking for? And he's like, oh, and I'm like, she's like, I lost my earring, and he's so out of it. And then when he finally wakes up, and he's, the guy shows up to his room, and he basically robs him. He takes the guy's bag, and he leaves the room with the bag. The guy comes back with a gun. He ends up having to shoot the guy. They have a shootout in the hallway of the hotel, and he manages to get out of there. And he takes the guy's key fob, goes down and finds his Mercedes, gets out of there, and meanwhile the alarms are going off, and just Ricky's like, okay, I got the thing. And then he looks at the paper. He's like, what the fuck is this? This isn't the bag. It's full of these papers, like almost an espionage thing, corporate espionage. This isn't money. And he calls up the guy, the bookie. He's like, dude, how much will you give me for this hot Mercedes? He says, okay, dude, this guy, Vincent Gamble guy, has a bunch of secret business documents, not poker winnings. Not sure what this pharmaceutical stuff, maybe. He says, like, what are you talking about? Did you rob the wrong man? He's like, no, he gave me the room number, room 1218 at the Vista Lux. He's like, idiot. I said Monta Vista. So he went to the wrong hotel, the wrong guy, and now he's kind of like, okay, well, do you want this nice hot Mercedes? He's like, no, and he hangs up on him. He's like, well, I guess give me at least another week to get you the money. And I love how Brubaker does this, because this is very much Brubaker. There was a little bit of comedy with a lot of you have a gunshot, someone dies, whatever. There's sex, but it serves the plot. And it's not just randomly thrown in there. This is also on newspaper print, which is really nice. I love that. Instead of being on the glossy paper, it's on newspaper. And overall, like I said, it's a very fun book. A I'm looking forward to the series with Charlie Huhn playing the Ricky, and
Charlie Hunnam is playing Leo.
who was playing Leo?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was playing Ricky. Okay. Regardless, though,
He's probably a little old to be playing Ricky at this point.
you know what I'd probably get? KJ Alpa, the guy who played Archie, play Ricky. If they do that. But overall, though, it's just, it's situational organic humor. That's pretty much what it is. Because the guy fucked up. He robbed the wrong person at the wrong hotel. Everything just went bad. And now he's still owing money to his bookie. Straight to the point. And it's you don't need it in there. It's pretty good. There is another thing in there at the end of the book, they tell you about the story about criminal, give you a little history lesson. Tracy Lawless and Ricky Lawless. Tracy Lawless was his brother who died in the army. Ricky is the younger brother. And then it talks about other characters in here from the series. And then there's a tabletop RPG guide in here, in the back here, at the end.
Yeah, I've never heard of the guys playing Ricky, but the Nacho from Better Call Saul.
Oh, cool.
Is in every episode playing Jeff, who I can't place, and Amelia Clark is playing Mallory, who I think Brubaker said in this book that she's not that big in the comics, but she's big in the series, and well, it's probably because you've got Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
Some dude named Gus Alper is playing Ricky Lawless.
Okay. We have Jacob Kurtz, Sebastian Hyde, Teague Lawless, Jenny Waters, Mallory. Yeah, Ricky Lawless, Tracy Law, and his brother Tracy, Angie, and then Gnarly was the bartender, boxer.
I was listening to Drew and Josh, and Josh looked up the director, and it's a 2-person team that directed Captain Marvel.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what Josh said.
Oh no! But here's the thing. Here's the one thing though. Ed Brubaker is involved.
Yeah,
I trust Brubaker.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on how much
control he has.
He actually has, because he's not the only showrunner.
So, I just talked about the book. You read it. That was your book too. I think that was your only book, right?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think of this story? I thought it was pretty dang good. I thought
it was fairly straightforward for a criminal story, but the twist in the end, I think I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Because that's a level of humor that you don't usually get, and I don't remember ever laughing reading Criminal. So, maybe that's maybe the series is gonna maybe have a little bit of humor, and
which I don't mind. It kind of reminds you of like a Peter Parker kind of humor now, like a Parker's Luck humor.
It's just it's like I said, to screw up something that badly. Now, of course, you go from. Of course, the screw up leads to a guy stealing secret documents. But when he goes, I guess I'm going to need a little more time.
Yeah, I knew the week.
Yeah, that was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't bother with the RPG thing. That means.
Oh no, I looked it over and I
read the
synopsis,
introduction, and the stuff they said about the series. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I just please don't screw it up.
I really want more of the Ricky Lawless story in this book, though. So I mean, if that's just a side tease of what's going to be in the show, I'm fine with it.
I don't even care who they focus on, because every character when they focus on them, it's great.
It's like Landman, have Landman have little stories going on, and then have them interconnect towards the end of the season. That's what I do. They have one narrative, but they have different characters, and then somehow tie them together. All right. But my favorite book of the week, though, this is one where Morano was asking who the interior artist is. Well, this is Knightfight #2. This is by Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora doing the interior. Did not read DC K.O. In my opinion, you don't need to read it whatsoever. This is all I know. They tell you right here that in the DC K.O. fight, Joker killed him, but Batman. They said for the tournament you're allowed to bring one device with you, whatever, and he had Apocalypse armor that allowed him to basically the boom tubed him to back to Gotham. But he feels like you said, like the reality he's in is not real. He ends up meeting Dick Grayson, who has now become the Batman in this world where basically Bruce Wayne did not want to give up the mantle, killed Damian, killed Jason Todd, and also killed Tim Drake. And because he didn't want anybody trying to stop him, he went mad by using the Lazarus Pit to try to stay young. So it's Batman versus Batman in this.
Wait, who's trying to kill Tim Drake?
No, they're dead. Tim's dead in this. Bruce killed him.
God, I bet Bernard really lectured the shit out of whoever killed him.
No, I'm sure Bernard was. You know what? This in his universe, Tim was probably never gay. Anyway, though, they got the statue there too. It's raining. This is round 2 of them just fighting. This Bruce realizes that they're not. This isn't real, and he says like he says I was only supposed to bring one thing, but I lied. I brought another device. Types a little code, and it basically pops up like a giant dagger blade, and he's like it's like come on. You have to trust me, Bruce. He's like, dude, I died in the tournament. Joker killed me, even though I tried to escape, but the heart apocalypse doesn't want to let me, didn't like that. So basically, transport here created this fake Gotham here, and I love this. Like, what do you say? If it zooms in, hope it does. So yeah, he's like, yeah. Dick's like, my Robins are everywhere. You can't never escape them. He's like, dude. They said that's the other tell. You let your Robins fight for you. Dick would never do that. He knows I always fought alongside my Robins. I trained you and your brothers and sisters, and I bet my Robins could kick your Robins' asses. Robins fly. And that's at the end. That's Dick Grayson saying Robins fly, and yeah, it's just like. So then we get the 2-page spread here too. Dan Mora's art on this. I love the rain. This is a fight in the rain. I always love those kind of fights. And he just takes out the Robins with ease. And of course, he talks about how battling against Tim Drake, as he said, what he says is like the day I first saw Dick Grayson, he was flying high trapeze. He glided through the air with a confidence I never had at his age. It took the trauma from me to learn skills he knew by instinct and by truth. From the moment he fought by my side, I knew he would surpass me. He's a better Batman, he says. And then so Bruce basically does the one thing, because he surrenders. He's like, don't harm me. He's like, and Dick Grayson's like, it's like, hey, we'll get you better. Don't worry about this. And he does the one thing he told Clark he's going to do in this tournament. You can't hold back. And he basically sucker punches him, and then he kills him with the blade because he knows it's not the. He says, he said, "You've always been too trusting. You still want to see the best in the people. That's why you always got along with Clark. But you're not the real Dick. You can never be. Dick actually trusts people, but he doesn't try to control them. I now see what the Heart of Apocalypse wants me to do. I took the same thing I told Clark. Don't hold back. He does this. This cause, by stabbing him." He ends up being transported into this other reality now. Now he's in a straitjacket. And he's like, what the heck's going on here? And we definitely get the reveal, this reality, Jason Todd is Batman. And he's basically interrogating him. He says, "Well, what's this time? You're going to tell me that, from another reality, whatever." And he's like, "I ain't gonna buy your bullshit." And he's like, It's like you were trapped in the multiverse. You had the powers of Superman. You were being carried by and you were buff and carried a big axe. You held a Green Lantern ring. The heart play, and Bruce is like, no, the heart played in his hand, and I'm not falling for it again. And Jason Todd's like, oh, so it's Apocalypse Tournament one. That old nugget. Where reality was changing so you could fight your friends to the death. I thought you were dead, And then just one day, just here, and talk about alternate realities where my brothers are still alive. Beat the realization, it's an old man, Jason Todd. I was like, damn. And he says, like, you're not gonna fool me. You're not the real Bruce Wayne. He's dead. You're Clayface. And he basically gets to realize it all, and Bruce reacts to him, and then manages to escape, and runs out into the open air. As he gets after fighting him, there's a lot of cool art in here. So let's love this. Dan Mora, and he basically flees Gotham, or it goes on to where basically we find out that Gotham is revealed that it's quiet. He's like, Bruce is like, why is it quiet? He says that's because you thought you were escaping Arkham, but Gotham City is now the new Arkham. He puts his helmet back on. He says Joker released gas down there pretty much, and he's like, I had to pretty much stay here and keep the dome over here to let the gas from basically killing people. It's radiated, and so Bruce at the end, he's like, it's fine. If the heart wants you to believe that I'm Clayface, and he basically says, then I'll play. I'm Clayface, and it leaves with that. Just a fan-fucking-tastic. I love the art on this. Is it nonsense? Kind of, a little bit. We've seen Multiverse before, but I'm not reading Knightfight, or I'm reading Knightfight, and I'm not reading the other ones, because this is just Josh Williamson, it's Dan Mora on art, and it's just been fun. I don't need the DC K.O. or where it's just pointless and overpriced book. But all right. I also picked up the Walking Dead Deluxe issue number 126, where Negan gets his throat slashed by Rick. And it's going to be the end of the Negan War, part 12 of 12. Got the Facsimile for Detective Comics, first Two-Face, number 66. And then I decided to get some back issues. Real quickly, though, I did pick up the World's Finest. Or not World's Finest, but DC Finest. Superman and the Invisible Hour, which does include the World's Finest and World's Best Comic stuff. So, and the New York World's Fair, which was before the World's Finest, World's Best Comics. So, a lot of cool stuff in here, too. And then for back issues, right here, got number 7, the DC Batman family, Giant Family, or Giant Bat Family. So pick that up. Also picked this up too. Read this. This was kind of confusing going in a little bit because Jerry Conway is writing Bruce Wayne out of character, but Batman was actually pretty cool in there. Killer Croc is now the new crime kingpin. And thanks to Detective Comics, the previous because back then also this is something that they don't do anymore too. Detective Comics would cross over with Batman, and then the previous issue Detective Comics, he thought he killed and drowned the Batman, but Batman survived. And at the end, basically Batman confronts him and basically starts kicking his ass. But also Bruce Wayne also snaps on Robin too in this too, and it's just. Jerry Conway was just going out of character, and I guess this is just he had the Todds trailing this criminal, and that's something that I'm glad they kind of retconned with Frank Miller and stuff later on.
Okay, that he wasn't being written out of character. Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson's relationship was very strained at the time, and.
Because he said like, I wish more people would go out and risk their way, instead of just at least sitting by and letting crime do what they want to do. Bruce was frustrated and yelling, and he took it out on Dick Grayson and Alfred.
Well, like I said, Batman was great in that period.
Yeah. But I said it was a good issue. That is issue number 359. And then I picked up Supergirl from Adventure Comics. This is issue number 402. Love conquers all, even Supergirl. Oh, Derek, when I'm with you, nothing else matters. People being shot behind her. I love that.
What's up with the long boots?
That was her outfit back then.
No one. They would let readers submit uniforms. It was basically kind of like, since Supergirl's audience was primarily girls, girls would send in submissions, and they'd pick the best ones, and she'd wear those in an issue.
Yeah. Final thing. Guy for really cheap. I didn't realize this is the whole entire thing. I was like, damn, because it's really it's a skinny little thing. But I know it's like 5 or 6 issues. But yeah. Just fantastic. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank together telling a retelling of Batman's origin, and just overall just fun. I love Gary Frank's art in this too. It's just awesome. If you haven't checked this series out, it's really cool. Alfred is a badass in this. People are like, or like, oh my gosh, I love Alfred in the Absolute and Batman. They never read this. This is Alfred, who pretty much, who really didn't want Bruce at first, but he took him on, and he taught him how to fight. And Alfred, just being an ex military stuff, ends up just being an awesome character in this. So, and yeah, I love this art in here. It's just Gary Frank is just, I love him. I want to say for my opinion, he's the best Batman artist. I like Neil Adams in the costume, but Bruce Wayne, nobody draws him like Gary Frank. But that's my opinion, and that's the end of my books. And hello to Jackson. What's going on? Hello to One Slick Dude. Hello to Geekeasy. So, Breen, did you have any other things to show off at all?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go next so I can
go back to sports.
No, I'm thinking about it. Don't mind, this is not a shawl. It's cold in this place. Oh.
Erwin!
This is my binky. All right. So yeah, I picked up Criminal, and we talked about that. Excellent story.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the detective. Venkman, I think you'd already left last night. When I was reading this that Batman facsimile that came out last month.
Yeah.
And they profiled a guy at the end, this high school student. He was in my dad's graduating class.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Hughes High School, 1948.
He's turning into a cat lady, says Jackson.
What's that?
He's turning into a cat lady.
Fuck, I don't know what I'm going to do this winter. If it's, yeah.
It's 5 degrees here now.
I got to do something. As I said, it's just slightly, chilly, but upstairs is fine. So that's, anyway. So this finally came in. The Green Lantern has 21 issues of mostly glorious Gil Kane art. First.
I love that you have the Titanic shirt on and you're freezing.
Glorious.
Yeah. I love old school Silver Age just artists in general compared to today's. I love Gary Frank, but I also have I love Neil Adams. I love Gil Kane and all of those other artists, Rod Romita Sr. But man,
and this is volume 7 of the Atlas Archive series.
That's a big book.
Yeah, it is. Got
I thought about. I picked it up at the shop. I was like, "Where am I going to put this?"
Mother knows best.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some. I leave. Okay, I know you're not the most patient guy in the world. How about that 2-page spread?
Wow.
Yeah, this might take a minute to read, but like I said, these I've loved every one of these. I'm skipping on the next one because they're doing a humor, doing a snafu, and that doesn't really interest me. But
well, the good thing about that book for Valentine's Day, it might take us an hour to get through one story.
But this was only $50.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it'd be like $125 for the size of it.
Well, I figured it'd be a little bit more than that, but
75 at least.
I would guess $59.99, but yeah, I said I'll take it. But yeah, so and of course I said this is what I'm reading.
DA takes a chance.
Right, from 1948. So that's all I have.
Hey, now Coco is adorable. Coco's not even on the stream.
I know.
She's upstairs probably.
I think so.
She's watching TV. So, alrighty then. Jeff, you got stuff?
Yeah, my shop is. They didn't get their DCs and most of their independents. They blamed it on Atlas for some stupid reason. I don't, that's a common thing with them. So I didn't get any of my DCs. Didn't get a couple of the independents that I wanted. But I did get a couple of. I got 2 back issues on Wednesday, and on African American Friday they had a thing.
Wait, did you say Afro-American Friday?
Yes, Black Friday.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like
it's just me being an asshole. They were going to give out like bags to the first 50 people that showed up. They have 2 locations, one in the mall where they don't actually sell comics. It's just all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then the place 2 blocks from my house, which is the comics one. And I was like, okay, they were opening at 10, which is 2 hours early. And I was like, okay, I'll go at like 9:30. But then I saw the line that they had for the one of the Diamond Center. I was like, no. I went at like 9 o'clock, and it was just absolutely freezing, and it was not.
On Monday we had something similar. We had Hugh Jackman was in town, and the line to go to this burger joint he was working at because he's promoting his new movie, being a blue collar guy. He was at the Cops Frozen Custard thing in there, and it was just like the line was nuts to get in there. And that place is already busy as it is. So I was like, why the heck is he coming where I live?
Isn't he doing a movie that plays Neil Diamond?
Yeah.
Don't see the connection between Neil Diamond and burgers, but okay.
Oh, he's a blue collar guy who basically did his job working at a thing. So.
Okay. So here's the bag. And they had there's only 2 things worth keeping. There was this, which I have no idea, nor do I care about.
It looks like a card game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a starter deck. And they just had a bunch of
You should have got the Pokemon cards. You could scalp them.
No, you didn't get a choice. And then they had one thing where they had there's a little Bosco's coin they had made for $5, which I used. And then they have I don't have it with me, but it's a little thing for 20% off one item, which is only for December. So I have that in my wallet, which is over there somewhere. But so then yesterday I quickly went from work to Bosco's before I went over to my mom's because my sister's, because yesterday was the anniversary of my dad's death, so I wanted to go spend time with my mom. But anyway, this, which I started to read, and I didn't finish it, and I will not be getting the second one. And that's a fact.
What was wrong with it?
Boring, and I think some stuff that I just didn't know. It sounds like there's some stuff in a comic before that I didn't know what was going on, and it just didn't seem.
Which was it? It was like Nocturnals again. You picked up?
Briar Knight's Terror.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Sounds like a Robin Hood story.
It's just it starts out with a kissed awake by a spider, nearly eaten by creatures, captured by slavers, tortured by bog witches, teased by gnomes,
Harassed by Republicans.
Yeah, and then it's set and it comes. It's just the art isn't all that good, and it just doesn't
It
seem.
looks okay for a decent art. It's not Prince Valiant art, but I mean.
Whoa.
Oh no, the camera went off. There is a god.
Yeah, one of the things just fell off my. So, I was looking for stuff to get.
Who's the creative team on that Briar thing?
Christopher Cantwell and Alex Linz.
Well, right there. If you see Christopher Cantwell in a book, just skip the book. Don't even waste your money.
Alrighty then. Good
That's
to know.
the guy who was writing. Yeah, the guy who was writing the horrible Iron Man after Bendis, and then he also. What else did he recently just do? He also butchered. Girl, it was Green Arrow. No, that was Chris Condon. At this point, Cantwell and Condon are the same type of writing.
Bad.
Yes, can't write well. That's how I always write him. Chris can't write well.
And then Murder Broadcast number 3. It's actually turning out to be fairly good. I think there's only like one more issue.
Tune in and don't miss an episode of this podcast. It's killer.
Yeah. Then a book that was actually pretty good, a lot better than I thought it'd be. Hulk Smashes Everything. Did you? Okay.
I didn't get any Marvel books this year or this week.
I like the self-stealing ones. It makes it a lot easier to deal with.
Well, yeah, that's the only bags I get now. Compared to like, you spend more money at. It's like I always get. I'm like, I get grief from people. It's like, well, you're just buying this. What you're doing. You're buying the bag is no different than just buying the tape. It's like, well, maybe I don't want to buy the tape. I want to just have the bag with the seals. Tape runs out. I got to go buy another thing of tape.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like at the shop and just shut up and sell me the freaking bag. Don't give me crap.
They don't care. I'm just like, hey, you got any more self-sealing? No. Okay, well, save some for me next time. It's a North or
It was one of the shop.
Jeff, have you used the resealables before?
Yeah.
Breen almost
What's
died.
the longest time that you've gone from using them to finding one of those strips stuck to like a sock or something? Because it's inevitable.
It's a few minutes. I put a comic down on top of it and picked the comic up, and the bag came with it. And I was just like, oh. So
I found those strips months later.
So I know Breen, yeah, they're static. They cling to you. That's one thing I don't like about them. But I've never had one I have a trash can. I put them right immediately in the trash can, and I leave them in there.
They crawl out.
Yeah. So I've never had an issue where I've almost slipped on them, almost died. But Breen's had some near-death experiences.
I love them. I use them, but most of the time I just tape over them.
Yeah.
I find the strips under my desk.
Hey, at our age, it's not hard to have a near-death experience. You could, turn your head a little too fast, and that's a near-death experience.
I feel like you should have like a ticker going that says like, about to die. Come here to see us about creating a will. 1-800-WILLS.
But it starts out in the Sanctum Sanctorum. I can never pronounce it correctly.
Sanctum Sanctorum. Is this Doctor Strange of Asgard? What is this?
It sounds like it looks like he's just in New York.
Oh, is in New York? What? Who's the writer? Stephanie Phillips?
North.
Oh, Ryan North, another one to avoid. That's the one we gave Breen and I were giving Zach crap for. Reading Ryan North Fantasy 4.
Well, this doesn't seem all that bad.
That's what he said to us too.
It's basically he's hanging out, and there's all this noise, and
Well, here's the thing: if you enjoyed it and you can justify paying $4 or $5 for this book, it's a win for you.
Yeah. What the hell is
I've
it?
saved $1,000 by switching to anything but Marvel and DC for the most part.
But Wong is he's making all this noise, and it turns out the Hulk smashed Doctor Doom.
Wait, what name did you just say?
Hulk smashed Strange
No,
Doctor.
before that, you said another name.
Wong.
Big green guy, fight everyone. I know Reich. I give it 8.
But it turns out that he's the leader has a plan, and he needs to get like 4 or 5 items to get what he wants, but he needs a weapon in order to get the items that he needs. Mm-hmm. So he tricks the Hulk into attacking Doctor Strange by impersonating Doctor Strange. So that pisses Hulk off to go attack Doctor Strange, which he needs. And then they go in there. He gets something, the ring where he can just create a circle and go someplace where he goes to Doctor Doom's.
Sling ring?
Yeah, something like that. He goes to get an item from there, and then he gets
so this is the Elseworld reality, because Stephen Strange is our Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
And then the leader becomes the Sorcerer Supreme?
No. He just impersonates him.
Oh.
To fool the Hulk, to get the Hulk to attack.
Oh my
so
God.
He does that.
The Hulk must be really dumb if he can't tell a guy with a giant.
No, but he does like a holographic image thing.
John Cena?
Yes. And so they attack, and he also gets Doctor Doom's time machine.
Yeah.
And sends Hulk back to the prehistoric ages where he's fighting dinosaurs.
Look at the size of that Hulk. He has a tiny baby head and they have a big body.
And Hulk is just like Hulk is smarter than dinosaurs, Hulk stronger than dinosaurs, because Hulk is the strongest one there is. And then of course you see
the asteroid coming. Yes.
The asteroid coming. Hulk, I don't know if he's
I bet you Hulk's gonna punch the asteroid and save it, and then the dinosaur will still survive and it'll just screw up time.
Something along that line. I'm figuring that's what he was sending him back in time for. Was to screw time up.
Well, I think he was just trying to have the Hulk be killed in the blast.
Yeah, I know. Or so he didn't have to deal with him or something. But
so, oh my gosh, we're gonna have dinosaurs that can speak and talk to us. We're gonna have Dinosaur City.
In the city.
Yeah.
Last one. It's still her doing some stuff in the past.
The worst people ever. They still haven't figured out what's killing the children.
Nope. Okay, then
it's taking forever.
I know, right?
Did
20 issues in, and they say something's killing. At this point, you should change the title.
They know they're different. They're different monsters each time. But when I went in on Friday, I got some back issues because
sorry for you.
Why not? And then I got 2 of the same run in Wednesday. So, but this I have
Street Jacket Batman.
Batman 327.
Okay.
This was from Friday. 365. Yes, I'm just trying to get as many of the original.
I was looking at some of the plots. I forget what issue it was, but that were basically these criminals hear Batman having a night. We're talking to Robin about his dream, and somehow they're able to hear from like cave out deck, and they hear about Batman's greatest fear. So they decided to create a trap for him based on his nightmare that they overheard through a some kind of like a duck through the cavern stuff, connecting
like a cup to the wall or something.
Yeah. So I was like, It's like, what is going on here? Now, the ones I want to read are the Doug Mensch ones.
Yes, and those I've been getting a lot of those.
Yeah, so that
Mensch, Dixon, Brubaker, and
did they collect the Doug Mensch ones in our trades and all?
I do not know. You'd have to ask the resident expert on that one.
And that's the thing. I was like, I want to read the Doug Mensch ones, but like, but
I don't know if they did one for Doug Mensch. I know they did one for Conway. Mm-hmm. They did one for a couple of the artists, and they like Gene Colan.
Yeah.
But they've never. What they need to do in these DC Finest is do them in sequential order, so you get the Batman, Detective, Batman.
Yes. That's what I'm glad about this Triangle era omnibus. Finally, is doing that.
The what omnibus?
Triangle era omnibus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's cool. Remember, it bounced to Superman, Adventures of Superman, to the action. Then it went to Man of Tomorrow. Like, I was like, thank you, because I'm trying to like this. When we got this,
they did that with the Byrne Superman run too.
Yeah,
they kept it all in order.
Well, that's the thing. The John Byrne Man of Steel books were just the John Byrne issues. They weren't even connecting even the only time it actually was collected. It was the Exile story, which was going back and forth, and then they actually collected in the omnibus thing. But otherwise, like before that, the John Byrne Man of Steel books hardcovers was just John Byrne stuff. So,
yeah, I have all 4 of those back there.
So if it's him and then going into another story, you're getting half the story. It's like it's great and all, but no, it's like I don't know. I guess it's different growing up as a kid, and especially during the 90s. If you were like reading all these, okay, I gotta get this one, it connects to this one. It was fun. Yeah. But as a person who's going back just wants to read it, it should be collected for me to read it.
Also, back then you could afford it because they're only like 40, 50, 60 cents a piece.
Yes.
Now you're paying, you want to get 2 of them, you're paying a fin for 2 of them.
I'm just saying because like everything else is in trade format, so I'm surprised that they're not in. Like, I would love to have them in trade and just read them like that. How many years?
Pre-Triangle era.
Yeah.
They did a Man of Steel series. First one was the miniseries.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were the stories in order, including the Burns that had all action, Superman, and Adventures of Superman in the order they were published.
That's good.
And that's what I was saying.
And I have 7 or 8 of those.
Oh, I've never seen those ever in physical.
And one thing, Breen, you had mentioned this earlier, and one thing that's been really evident, reading some of these older ones, which I still have, some of the stories in these things, they'd be some what they call one shots, not just single ones, 2, 3, 4 issues on the outside for a story, but usually only about 3. It would last about like 3 issues long. Then you get to the stuff nowadays. There are 6, 7, 8 issues a piece, and so they're writing for the trades now. Back then, they wouldn't, and it's really annoying because they draw them out.
Yeah,
and it's just like, dude.
Well, everything's written for the trades now.
That's just what I was saying.
But before it was though. Like I want to get the Legend of the Dark Knights. I want to get those in trade format if they have that. Just read those. But that's what I liked about the new ones. They Dark Patterns. It was like maybe 2 or 3 issues was like a story, but it was an ongoing thing. And I love at the end of that. If you guys have not checked that out, the final issue connects all the previous stories into that final finale arc.
The trade for that one, the first 12 came out already, didn't it?
I don't know if a trade came out, but we reviewed it like 2 weeks ago, I think, Breen. The Dark Patterns. It wasn't last week, it was the week before. But I said it's a very, very compelling story. And Dan Waters should have his own ongoing Batman book. If anything, just keep him on that at Dark Patterns. Let him do that. Or, okay, you could just do another one, call it Batman something else, but it's still Dan Waters doing a 12-issue thing or whatever.
Waters. Wonder if he's related to Roger.
No, probably related to Jesse Waters.
Who's the director of the Breen? the really weird one? Is that Roger Waters?
John
Waters. Okay. Pink Flamingos, man. That is a disturbing movie. I'm telling
A
you.
lot of Waters.
Dan Waters not being on Batman is another example of, like I said, DC will never. They'll never not shoot themselves in the foot every chance they get, because I bet Batman sales start plummeting.
Oh, apparently a lot of people like the new Fraction run, but I have no interest in it, honestly. And that's
League of Comics Geeks probably does, because it skews so left, and they probably thought it was stunning and brave that Tim Drake's boyfriend lectured Batman for getting his boyfriend boo-boos.
Yeah. And I'm just like, one of those times I'm just like, can't Batman just be like Nemesis and make Bernard just disappear?
I have a better idea. About a Bobby Ewing in the shower where Tim and Bernard were never fucking gay.
Yeah.
It was just a dream.
Again, I've never heard anybody say anything about Apollo and Midnighter because they were
created
gay.
Yes.
And that's why they're not used, because it doesn't piss anybody off. But this way they get to take characters from us, wait for us to get pissed off, and then call us the ists and the phobes by a term Richard likes to call us now, tourists. Where is Megan Fitzmartin? Not at DC, but her damage is still there.
Yeah. And here's the thing, in Marvel they have Hulking and Wiccan. I don't mind that either. Like that doesn't bother me. They have North Star over there. But when you start creating characters like X-Men who are just their whole character is like, I'm a drag queen, like what the heck is that all about?
Didn't they have a wedding between those two guys? Like North Star in an X-Men book?
Hulking and Wiccan.
Didn't Wiccan and Hulkling get married?
Yeah.
Are they even 18 yet?
I think they are. I think Wiccan is. What happened to the other brother?
I don't know.
Well, didn't Wiccan have a brother?
Thought so. Yeah.
Oh, is that only from? Am I just thinking that because the MCU show has?
No, that's where they got it from.
Yeah. But
Maranya, you are evil, and I like you for that. I was just thinking the same thing myself.
I want to see how the writer turn kind of like gay characters straight and watch them explode. That's horrible. You know,
and they've already started doing stuff like that with the Black Panther.
Well, he's not gay, but he is like the son is a white man. Now comes the Black Panther.
He became white.
But speaking of stuff that's actually Marvel's healing a little bit. I know as much as Marvel is really damaged. We're gonna have an ongoing by Benjamin Percy doing continuing his Punisher run. Starting either January or February. And I really hope that this keeps going because Punisher, if anything, the character needs a heal. Josh Williamson can be on Iron Man. I want Iron Man to be good. The armor looks good. We're away from that ugly Ultimate 2.0, whatever the hell that ugly armor he had that he had previously. So I'm hoping that Marvel does start to do well with their characters. But the
white Black Panther, that story was done by a black man. There's no way on God's green earth a white writer would have been allowed to do that.
Wasn't that Jimmy Palmiotti?
No, it was Christopher Priest.
Oh, it was Christopher Priest.
Huh?
Oh, that's the other guy who basically
Priest is the guy who was on Vampirella for the longest time. And
he's still on Vampirella. And here's the thing: he turned Vampirella into a villain. My thing is that what happened to Christopher Owsley, that one, or James Owsley, the Christopher Priest at working Marvel, that one. How about the one that was on Deathstroke?
Vampirella is his kryptonite. I mean, I said that's the blemish on his record.
He keeps putting Michael B. Jordan into everything he does lately. It's like,
no, okay. Brian Edward Hill is way more guilty of that than Christopher Priest.
I don't care who does it. It's just cringe when I see it. It's like, whoa. It's like, and I can't tell if it's supposed to be Michael B. Jordan or if it's just insert of himself for Christopher Priest. But I was just like, it's just been bad. The only Vampirella stories I'm enjoying have been like the one by Tom Sinetsky. And that's based off his Harris run, which he did back in the 90s, Vengeance of Vampirella, and he's just came back in 2019, continued the other 50 or other 20 issues or 25 issues, and just been going strong. He probably had Vampire Strikes, and he's been doing some other ones, and it's just been fun. Compared, it's the thing. It's like I'm not praising because it's a white guy rating. I'm just saying because this guy actually writes the character and actually writes a compelling story. And Christopher Priest, who can write, whatever reason, just loses his mind when he writes Vampirella.
He just has it in his head
he wants Vampirella. Dude, you remember when he first took over? I thought it was Mark Russell. I used to get confused with Mark Russell because Mark Russell was on Red Sonja or something like that. But Vampirella was in therapy because she couldn't save a plane of people.
Yeah, that was the Priest thing.
And I was just like, why isn't she, first of all, Vampirella was fighting monsters. She fought against rogue vampires, a guy who literally could control the blood out of your body, hemorrhage, and other things. And now since she's like doing all this other mundane thing, like she's not Batgirl. She's not Batwoman. She is just her mother was Lilith, and she hates her mother, and she's there to basically fight all the creatures, keep them in line, save people, just trying to keep the balance between the Dance Macabre, which is like a black ops, like almost like a Brimstone Society kind of thing. And it was so compelling in the 90s and the Harris, and all of a sudden, just like now she's nothing like that anymore. And now we have so many freaking other vampires because they brought in the Chaos team. They have I forget who the other was. It's a black woman who's now almost like a Vampirella thing. Vampirella's sister, Draculina, who's also been weirdly drawn, being like, oh, she's in a 13-year-old body, a 14-year-old body, but dressing like Vampirella. And I'm just like, no, the kid's way too young. Let's get out of here, guys.
The black chick was way before Priest.
Yes, but I'm just saying, she's been just reduced to that. She hasn't been written compelling to me, at least to me at all.
If you want to see some cool Vampirella, watch Gratsu's video from last night. He was going through his box. He has like the first 15 of them.
Oh, the magazines?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like she was dating Michael, who is Van Helsing. He was a senator. Like that was to me, that was compelling. But yeah, now it's just like she's she's loose and just going around fucking everything she sees, or now she's just
Vampirella is like an indie Deadpool or Batman.
Yes.
Whoever writes it decides what kind of character she's going to be, and there's no cohesion.
They're trying to turn her into an indie Harley Quinn.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that.
She's not everywhere, but I'm saying it's just that it's annoying. Like
the Vampirella that Christopher Priest is doing bears no resemblance to the one you might see in another Dynomutt book. So it's
that's the thing. There's no I guess they're all Elseworlds outside of Tom Sadansky's book, which is actually an ongoing world building thing. He's the main Vampirella.
I mean, they did a Vampirella and Red Sonja meet Betty and Veronica.
Yeah,
it was actually good.
All right. Do you have any more books to show? I mean, we cut you off.
Yes, I do.
So I was like, I should probably ask because I don't know if he has any more.
Yeah, I actually showed that I had, but okay, so we go.
I apologize.
No, it's who actually interrupted before.
We're nerds. We're fighting over stuff that doesn't matter.
Hey, it matters.
Comics matter with your boy.
409. 413. These are all for Friday. And the next two are the ones I got from yesterday. 527.
Checks. I want to see Vampiro go grocery shopping.
And we have
the El Grey
535 with a special fold-out cover.
Ooh.
And it's you can see there 1-on-1.
Yeah, the glare.
Huh?
All I saw was a glare from your computer because of the plastic. See, okay, I can see a little better. They have the Kelly Joan ears.
The what?
Kelly Joan ears where they're like freakishly long.
Like Kelly Jones did some Batman, so yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Monch, Jones, and Betty.
All right. That's why. Keep the glare on. I don't want to see it then if it's Kelly Jones art.
And 546 is a kind of a cool cover.
What's longer, a sword or Batman's ears?
I've always hated the really long ones, especially when they go long and they kind of bend over like that. I would love if I just gonna droop over. I don't like the really short ones. I'm sort of mid. I like the
Adam West ones. I never liked those either.
No,
like,
I like the mid-sized ones. Those are,
We're talking about horns, nothing else, guys. Get your
yes. That's exactly
mid-sized ones. I don't like the big ones either.
What are you still here? I just got here a few minutes ago.
He's making fun of us for cutting you off and derailing you.
610.
All
This
right.
is the. I guess this is. I don't know if that's in the Hush run or not, but
What number is it?
610.
It is.
I thought so.
It was 608 through 619.
Okay. Yes, and then 617. Great cover. I mean, it was Jim Lee, so. But then I guess these are these are the ones that I've already read. So that's why they're on the bottom.
I had a chance to get the Hush hardcover cover trade for like $5, but I just passed up on it.
287, where
Nice.
he has pterodactyl. That's not a. It's not a pterodactyl, but I say pterodactyl because it's
It looks like one. It's a
You
condor.
know who the artist is on that cover?
That is a Gil Kane?
No.
It's down
the
the
price
aisle.
tag is right over it.
Mike Grell.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Interiors.
$13.
ooh.
I have 283.
Nice.
That's also another 13. This was a really interesting story. This is 280. And they have it's weird. All the crime bosses have decided they came up on the thing where they were going to stop committing crimes between 1 and 2. And Batman's trying to figure out why that's happening, but it's covering for some other stuff, and so it's distraction for Batman. It's a really good story. Okay, who wrote this? I don't know.
I think John Cownan.
But
Or David Reed. Yeah, Reed was the writer.
And 289.
These are the first 2 years I was collecting comics. These are guys Batman's bring back memories.
Yeah, those are. See, this is just so back then. That's just these are some. So reading these now. You're sitting there reading some of the modern stuff, especially like detective, and you're like, "Fuck!" I mean,
It's comic books were so much better when they didn't aspire to be anything other than comic books. And I said even the good comics today, there are so many new rules, unwritten rules, but like I said, women can't be put in danger anymore. And that was a huge, plot points for comics.
yeah. Women have to be the badasses in this one.
And they have to be smarter and more capable. And I mean, at the very least, equal. And but men can absolutely be inferior to women in comics now. And just, like I said, it's just, the old stuff is just more fun to read.
And what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of times when you're doing that, you aren't saying that the women are inferior. But, I mean, take a look at Batman. He's out saving people. Most people are inferior to Batman when it comes to things like, intelligence and fighting skill. Everyone is inferior to Superman. So it's not saying something when he saves you from being, beat up by a bunch of people. So
I'm sorry if Polly staves Underdog from being tied to the railroad track, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It just isn't. I mean, I said the reversing of the genders in comics, it just takes away the sense of it, because I said comics were a hobby for boys that everybody was welcome to participate in.
But here's the
now
thing,
it's a
though.
hobby for girls, and there really isn't anything for boys.
Like, yeah, there was the girls who were always damsel distresses, but then there were also girls who could hold their own along with the boys. But sometimes they still needed the boy to help them up because that's just the role they were. And Lois Lane is one of those things. She gets in her head, and Superman has to save her. But sometimes she can hold her own too. She can take out a guy.
She's also really competent in a lot of other things.
It's like
they said that she's a better reporter than Clark is.
Well, when Clark has to correct her spelling.
Clark's not cheating, yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, Clark's cheating with this.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at Harlequin romances, the millions of them that have been published, what does every cover depict?
Woman in distress.
Well, not in distress, but like I said, the powerful man and the beautiful woman. And I said, because that's what, the majority of women want to read. Not necessarily Harlequin romances, but that dynamic.
That Sal Buscema cover, you had Conan and you had Belit with him, helping him out.
But yeah, I said it's
like I don't mind that. Like Hawkman and Hawkgirl in the 70s, there was nothing wrong with that. She could hold her own, but also you had Hawkman, so they fought alongside each other.
Jackson, you probably still see that. You're just not sure if it's actually a girl.
Yeah. We'll be back for a second.
Yeah. Now they're all in blue dresses and they're dudes. Ask Bill. That's it. What did he say? I can hear what he said. So he'll be right back.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was it. But I have to go do some porcelain art. I'll be back in a second. I'm done with everything. But
all right. Well, great. Good luck with that.
We'll alert the media.
Yes. All righty then. Well, he's making Geekeasy. Not much else to talk about really this week. You and I reviewed Landman, newest episode over on Extreme Movie Show.
Christmas movie watching is in full swing.
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday I watched The Thin Man.
Ooh, I love The Thin Man.
I probably say that's probably about the 6th or 7th time I've seen that.
I watched that last year for the first time. I want to watch that.
91 years old now.
Yes.
And today I watched Miracle on 34th Street and Bell Book and Candle.
Never seen either one of those. It's on my list this year.
You've never seen the 1946 Miracle on 46 or 7. It is the most fun Christmas movie ever made. Really? Yeah, it's just I said it's heartwarming. It's just fun. Edmund Gwynn plays a great Kris Kringle. Maureen O'Hara, who's great. John Payne, who was a marginal star, and young Natalie Wood as Maureen O'Hara's daughter. And then some character actors you'll recognize. There's a scene at the end in the post office where a guy, he's not even credited, Jack Alberson. He was the man in Chico and the Man. He was in Side Adventure.
Okay.
I
watched Holiday Affair last night.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Third time watching that again. So we'll be reviewing that on this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern over on Extreme Movie Show. Breen will be joining us, me and Rob. I guess Sunday is on Extreme Movie Show. We're just going to be Christmas movie reviews all month.
That with me,
right? Like I said, Book and Candle. I want to watch that. It intrigues me.
It's not a Christmas movie.
Christmas adjacent.
It begins on Christmas Eve, and then there is an exchange of presents,
and it ends at New Year's.
A little bit after that,
but anyway, though, it's a good romance triangle kind of thing, competing for a girl.
The Apartment goes through Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah. more of like a holiday movie than a Christmas movie. But
Yeah,
I
as it's
they
called,
both-
holiday affair.
Yeah.
What is the other one? Book a Candle. Meet Me in St. Louis is another one I want to watch too. Review that. Like it don't have to be Christmas movies, but if it's something you watch every year at Christmas.
And like Meet Me in St. Louis, it basically takes place over about a 10-month period, but Christmas is emphasized when they get to that time of the year.
Yeah,
and it's just like I said, I'm not half the musical fan that Aaron is, but I love this movie. I love everything about it.
What were you trying to type there in the chat? If you're trying to type the word "gay," yeah, it's not going to show up in the chat. I don't know what you're trying to type, Jackson.
What if you're using it in the literal sense,
like apparel? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But it depends. If you're going to bring up Comicsgate, that's blocked because I don't want any conversations about that. If you want that, go to Isle of Comics. I don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah, what kind of apparel are we donning now?
But yeah. Guy getting run over by a train. Oh.
Oh, from the underdog thing. That's
Oh yeah. I don't know. I was able to type it, but I have a wench. I didn't even know what she even typed. Oh, which one?
Rent, not went.
He said what he said.
Oh, up there. Okay, she typed it there. Yeah. You get a blue wrench, you can say it, but the word is blocked normally because you have people come in and will try to use it as a slur, and I just don't want that. I don't care if you're pro or anti. We're not here to talk about that kind of stuff here. Try to keep it comic book related. That's why I have EVS blocked. I have Comicsgate blocked. I don't want to talk about that. It's redundant. No. Yeah, as far as for more movies I want to watch for Christmas though, there's quite a few. I had a list last year. I don't know if I still have or not for Christmas stuff.
So, if you liked Maltese Falcon and Casablanca, Christmas in Connecticut's worth it just for Sidney Green.
That's the other one that was on my list too. Yeah,
but that's another one. It's preposterous. It's Hollywood at its Hollywoodiest, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, there's. Alrighty then. Only shows up on YT chat. Okay. I still don't know what you're talking about, Jackson. Comment about it, Underdog. It's blocked.
Oh, speaking of stuff that Christmassy, Twisted Sister did a Christmas album, and I just found out today they're coming to our state fair next September.
Nice.
So,
I know that Dee Snider's son said he was a fan of mine.
really?
Yes.
That's
From Wes's channel. Jesse Blaze Snyder. That is Dee's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Small world.
They don't share politics.
I imagine they probably
Jesse's not. Jesse's not a doc or a pay conservative. He definitely leans right.
Hey, but I gotta tell you, I did like D going up in front of fighting against the commission for labeling albums. I liked him.
Well, that was part of the show because Tipper Gore. I hope every rapper and every musician that swears still sends her a Christmas card every year because she made them all millions.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times kids would come into the store and that's all they cared about was, does it have the parental advisory? because
See,
that was the forbidden fruit that made everybody want it.
Yep.
That
And if you don't want someone to get something, don't bring it up. If you want to,
it was the Streisand effect on steroids.
make it restricted, make it bad. You know, then that way, you know, everyone will want it. But if you just don't say anything, no one will, you know.
Right.
That's why a lot of people make these fake controversies for stuff so they can get clicks and things like that.
Absolutely.
Exactly. About how comic books are dying, and then there's no one going in the comic book stores. That's why you watch Richard. Richard will tell you that that's just wrong. You know, the comic industry has just been great. It's just the old angry white men are upset because they're not catering to them anymore. I like Richard is something else.
He's a Richard. Don't be a Richard.
He's a tool. That's
Yeah, unfortunately. But hey, what's up, Krauser? Watching, he's over on Twitch. Look cool dude. Yeah, he streams over and plays video games. Check out his channel if you're a Twitch channel. But as far as for comic books goes, that's pretty much it. I mean, I showed everything. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch the replay on YouTube at Geeky Puppet Show. Jackson, looks like you're heading off now. I was kind of waiting for that because Jackson's old. He has to go to bed early. It's about what 11 by him. You know,
It's only 7.
I'm always amazed he makes it past 7 o'clock. He's old.
It is only just past 7. What are you guys talking about?
For him though. You know, it's out now. It's 4 hours later almost. Yeah. Oh no, the night is young. That's the only thing other than me here. But all right, though. He said he'd order some books from the comic shop. You know, put them up when he gets them. He's out here heading out to the clubs. What's that? The retirement homes? Jackson is on the East Coast and a touch younger than Eric and I. Oh man.
So Marani, you're up in the Breen range?
Yeah, they're like 70, 72.
See, as far as I know, all women are.
Good evening, Marania Cleaver.
That's all I know.
Yeah, Marania, myself, and Dr. Silverage are all class of 62.
Yeah, they're in the movie Grease.
I was -7 in 62.
Yep.
Those were 7 great years.
Yes, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it all got better when 1985 came around, right around June. Then the world just got so much better.
No. Well, yeah, Back to the Future came out. Yeah.
Jackson, you're in Central. So it's only 10-12 here then. I'm the youngest of that class of 62. It's Eric, Rod, and me. Yeah. Hans is like, what, 76?
73.
73?
Yeah, because if you've ever watched his live streams, he'll go, if a book, especially if it's a book from 1952 ago, that's the year I was born. Every time.
1952. Hey, my mom was born 55. My dad was born 54.
My mom was my dad was born December 4th, so he's 3 days before Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
And my mom was born a year after that, November 28th. So
wow.
So today would have been his birthday.
Yeah, my dad would be 71 years old right now if he was still alive.
It's his second birthday without it. Yesterday was his 1 year anniversary of.
I'll just say this: it will get easier for you, only because you don't you weren't living with them; you're living separate. But not to say that that you're different. That's but my mom has been. My dad died in 2016, and it's she's better than she was the first year, but it's still the same. It never goes away.
Here's the weird thing about this. My mom is very stoic. I don't think I've ever seen her get emotional over the fact of what had happened. She's been stronger about it than me and my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I was over in her house last night. Went and had dinner with her. And I know that my siblings and I were just she and my older sister were there when it happened. We were just going to destroy it. And they said that my sister said she didn't see her. She was just very pragmatic about it, saying, "Hey, look, he was suffering, yada yada yada." And I had a really hard time yesterday at work, and I stopped by it, and she just no. It's like, ugh. If you could,
it's like I said, it's been almost 10 years. Yeah. I'm just about next February will be 10 years for me.
Wow.
And there's days where it's like I don't even think about them, and then there's that one moment where something triggers and it's like, damn, it all just comes right back at you. It's just like, oh my gosh. But it's like I said, it does get less painful. I guess we all find a way to do advantage with it. But I mean, it's different though. It's different though when it's like your wife or your husband.
Yeah,
it's way 10 times worse than being the son.
Yeah.
Or
they were together for 61 years and going strong.
That's a long time commitment,
Yeah,
and that's a part of you. That's your life. You're become one. It's like, oh, geez. Miranda saying her parents were born in 31. My grandfather, my mom's dad, was born in the 20s. He died he's been gone for a while. he died in his mid to late 80s. He had Alzheimer's and he was in a wheelchair. And it's just my grandmother who died, his wife, she died in the 90s, 65 years old, had a massive heart attack in her sleep. It just exploded. Coronary into it just she died instantly.
That's the way to do it.
She smoked. Well, they both smoked. He quit. But he didn't drink and that stuff. And because back then, smoking was growing up in the war and stuff.
That was normal back then.
Yeah. It's like they weren't addicted to that stuff. There was no nicotine, or at least that was she wasn't addicted at all. But she even cut back too. But said she wanted to sleep, and he lived long enough to basically where this is a guy, a veteran who was in Easy Company, World War II, survived all that. His wife dies in the 90s, so they had all these years afterwards, 8 children, and then he ends up getting dementia, and he ends up being in a wheelchair because of his back because he can't walk anymore. Because when he came back, he was working on the Milwaukee Railroad, got a job there, and his job was to unhook cars and hook up more railroad cars together. And there was a piece of metal hanging out on a car, one going by him, and it sliced his back. It was sticking out from one of the train cars and just cut him.
Nice.
He was set up for the rest of his life for money and stuff, but still, it's just like his back healed, but he had to have a cane to walk. So, yeah. But just thinking about that, my grandfather grew up in the Great Depression, and then he went to war. When he volunteered, he was 17, 18, World War II. But it's like, imagine that growing up. Not only that, you survive the harshness of the Great Depression, and then World War II comes, and you go into that, and and then you survive that too. And it's like, whoa,
That's why they were called the Greatest Generation.
Yeah, my mom's brother, because she had 2 older brothers. So the eldest one, he came back from Vietnam, died in a car crash because his power steering went out and he hit a semi. Survived all that and just died, and then came back in a week or 2 and just died. I was like, that was what took him out, was power steering. He took it to place to get it fixed, and they said it was fixed, and didn't fix it, and he did. Yeah. His fiance, she survived, but he was mangled. Crazy, you never know where you're gonna go. So I said, make the best of it, Not saying like go like crazy and like run around naked down the street. If that's what you want to do, go ahead.
Okay.
But I wouldn't encourage it. But
I was just doing that a little earlier today, man. What's wrong with it? It's a whole 32 degrees out today, man.
that's actually kind of warm though for you.
Yeah, trust me, it is.
It is 5 degrees and falling. It was 8 degrees when we started this 2 hours ago.
It's 30 degrees now, and it was funny, because it's right at the temperature where it's really kind of slushy.
Yeah.
And the van I drive at work is just filthy, and they said, "Hey, take it in to get it, take it in to the car wash." And I was like, "Have you been outside?"
Yeah.
Have you been outside? So they paid me to take it to the car wash. Whatever, dude.
People are getting car washes by me too. But remember, people have heated garages. I mean, even if you heat a garage, as soon as it's still, your doors can still freeze shut.
Yeah, we leave them outside at night. I was just like, all right, whatever, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
Pay me to take it to the car wash. I don't give a right.
Jackson, yeah, that's true. That's so because so many couples today just get married and then they divorce and then remarried 1 or 2 or 3 times. So a lot of couples really don't have that long lasting, 30 plus years, together.
But there's also reasons for that, because back then you had to wait and you had to make a commitment. They got to know each other. Now everyone is just.
Well, nowadays people live together and then they get married and then they divorce, because once then it becomes real. That's the thing too. That's the other thing. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about relationships. If you want that, I'll make a channel, for that.
RVD on relationship. The Geeky Puppet Show on relationships.
Battle of the Sexes with your host, Dr. V. But yeah, been there, done that. Thanks, Jackson. That's what exactly I wanted to hear. But anyway, not much else to say about. Anybody in the chat actually pick up any books at all this week? I know, Jackson, you ordered some. Maranya, are you reading any comic books lately other than what you read on the channel with us? Or anybody else that's in the chat that's popped up YouTube? Once like, dude. I know you guys come up and show up the rating. I appreciate that. And you also check out the cover rankings we do on weekly on I Love Comics. Just curious what other people are reading. And Cheeseburger Comics and Ethereal Dragon. Ethereal Dragon, what are you reading these days? If you're still here. Other than Sailor Moon. But I'm waiting until January. Williamson. Yeah, I guarantee you, you're gonna pick that up, Marani, or you're gonna sail the high seas. Because honestly, I might just give Marvel my money for the Josh Williamson #1. It looks good. Josh Williamson has not let me down in DC. I hope that continues to be the thing with him going in Marvel. But then again, it's a different company. They might have different rules and regulations for that character. I mean, I hope he doesn't go into like, oh, Tony's going to have join an AA class or be drunk. Yeah, that's the latest thing to do, though. They're still, Marvel's still doing that with the Age of Apocalypse, whatever thing. Tony and Emma Frost are still a romantic, couple. So they're still trying to stretch that out. But finding your life mate with RDV. Yep. Yeah, they call me Dr. V, Dr. Valentine. No. Anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Punisher ongoing series by Benjamin Percy, and then the new Josh Williamson Iron Man. That looks fun. There was one more another I was looking at too. Real quick, League of Comic Geeks has this thing. You can look up recently announced things. There is look, Ryan North, Kieran Gillen, and Rosie Gifford and Derek Charm are going to be on a super creep show. It was announced coming on March #1. Ooh, that looks great. Not $4. What else is coming out this week? Or coming up soon? Do you see a lot of Panini comics, which are basically the Spanish versions? Butch, a Hate Comic by Peter Bagg with 2 fantastic graphic books. Looks like we're getting another Mega Man X through Udon. Boom Studios, Hello Darkness, Good Bones, and Other Sordid Tales with Steve Orlando. Yay. Cullen Bunn's going to be doing a book called Diablo, Dawn of Hatred with the Sarah at Titan Comics. Another Usagi Yojimbo, K.O, 84. And Zach Rosenberg. Simon Ricks and Will Roberts will be doing a thing on the doorstep. More Witchblade coming up. Is Ted Okay by Dave Chisholm through Mad Cave. Archie and Friends Space Adventures by Dan Parent. That's another one coming up. New History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. Number 1 coming in February. Morgan Hampton, Nicholas Draper Ivy, Steffi Williams, Joseph Illich, Edwin Gelman, Valentine Valorando, and Carlo Gillian. Ooh, Superman Chains of Love. Dalia Williams and Dan Slott doing a story for Valentine's Day. DuckTales Valentine's Day special through Dynomutt. Thundercats Valentine's Day special. X-Men United, number 1. Eve Ewing's going to be doing that book in Marvel. Eric Burnham and Bill Gavin are going to be doing Archie, Army of Darkness. That comes out in February. The Muppets Noir, kind of like a murder mystery. Dynomutt, that's also coming up this year.
I'll have to get that. That sounds interesting.
Muppets Noir comes in February.
I can tell now.
Noir, yeah. It was a dark and froggy evening. It's time to cue the music. It's time to dim the lights. It's time to get the thing started. The Muppets return tonight. Roger Langridge is going to be doing the writing and the arting part on that. Kermit's like a detective. Fozzie's a cop, and then Miss Piggy's like the dame. And then we have Black Panther's 60th anniversary special. Can you guess what current Marvel writers are on that?
A what? Who is it?
Black Panther 60th anniversary special in February. You're going to have Christopher Priest, Cody Ziegler, Evan. Literally, there's no white people on it whatsoever. It's just all black creators.
Dems the rules.
Yup.
Don McGregor's still alive too, but by all means, don't bring him back. He's the oldest living Black Panther writer.
Yup. Universal Monsters, A Phantom of the Opera. It's also coming out too by Tyler Boss and Martin Simmons. Rocketeer is getting another book called The Island by John Layman and Jacob Edgar. It says here. We also have Predator Bloodshed by John Jordan Morris. A new book by Larry Hama and Mark D. Bright, an Image. It's called The Center Holds. That starts in February as well. Deadly Hands of Kun Lun. Number 1 by Marvel. So, this is done by Yifeng Yang and Paco Medina doing the art. That's in February. FemForce 40th anniversary edition. That's coming out through AC Comics in February. Collecting full color issues. 7 collectible full color issues from FemForce 6, 11, 14, 15, 62, 82, and 84. It's not reprints or facsimiles, but actual never circulated first printings dating back to 1886 for $21.95. That's kind of cool. We already talked about Punisher is going to be coming back. Jose Luis Suarez Pinto is going to be doing the art for the Punisher. Benjamin Percy. Fall of Ultraman by Matt Groom, Kyle Higgins, and David Tinto through Marvel Comics. Then we have Batman Massacre, which is the party. That's okay. Oh, never mind. That's the Spanish version of Batman versus Deadpool. Okay, that's weird. Alice Forever through Boom Studios with Dampenation. Let's see here. Escape from Skull Island at Time Comics. Trying to see if there's actually what else is coming up. More bad idea stuff, more gotcha stuff. Wonder Woman in Black and Gold 2026 special with Alyssa Wong, Steve Orlando, Tom King, Mitch Gerards, Jodie Belair. DC Supergirl Next Door. Number 1. This is Nathan Fairbrain, Dave Wiggles, and Sarah Kuhn. Nicole Maines, remember that is? That's Dreamer from the Supergirl. Yeah. $5, 32 pages, and multiple people who are writing the character out of character. DC K.O. Green Lantern Galactic Slam by Jeremy Adams. That's coming out too. And that's January. With Kyle Rayner brings the cosmic reinforcements as K.O. determined rages on Earth. Artist Sion Tormey. Like I said, I don't know how long I'll hang on to when it comes to like the DC K.O. stuff. Like I support Jeremy Adams. I'll probably pick up that book, but Holly Golightly and Stephen Butler doing Archie Valentine Spectacular in February. Then we have another DC K.O. tie-in. The kids are all fight. Special by Jeremy Adams, Travis Mercer. Rogue is coming back for a series. Erica Schultz is going to be doing the art on it, or the writing on it. And then Luigi Zagira. It's really weird how they keep bringing back. Marvel brings out the same titles, but they have the worst writers. Repeat. Cancel, repeat. Darkwing Duck Gargoyles. Yeah. Here you go. Here's the one I'm waiting for. The DC and Marvel present Superman and Spider-Man Treasure Edition #1 facsimile. That's coming out on February 4th. 64 pages, $18 oversized. So,
I'm going to take off.
Yeah, I'm going to get it right here. I was looking to see if there's any coming up recently that really stands out. We'll have to look at the solicits or sometime, but.
Hey, Breen, I got something else I want to show you. There's one back issue that I had that was in my room. I was in the middle of reading. You might like this one.
Oh yeah,
it's $2.95.
Yep.
You know which one I'm talking about?
I don't remember. I can't remember what happened in the interior, but
it's
some of the first couple of years I was reading comics. I have like a Rain Man memory for at least the covers.
Yeah, there's a body that keeps, it's like the same body keeps getting killed in front of all these different like crime people, like a former cop, a crime writer, and all that stuff. And it gets taken to the hospital, but it disappears in the ambulance on the way there, and they're trying to figure out. Pretty good. I haven't finished it yet, but.
Alrighty then. And Mitch Gerards is the second most overrated artist that DC has on. Jim Lee is #1. No, I still like Jim Lee's art. I just think he takes forever to finish things. But I don't think he's overrated though. Sarah, then she says, Gerards relies on graphic program tricks to try to make his art look good. Spoiler, it doesn't. So, but anyway, though, I'll just say this: Terry Dodson's cocaine Peter Parker faces, the noses are always red. Not that great either.
Well, I'm going to agree with Moranya because to be overrated, you have to have something to begin with. And if you look at, say, somebody like Ed Benes, who I think is objectively better than Jim Lee, if you polled 100 comic book fans, Lee would get 95 of the votes because his reputation is so stratospheric that, I mean, he's an excellent artist, but he has been, there are people who say he's the greatest of all time. Nah.
No.
He's not. I said, that's Neil Adams. That will always be Neil Adams. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's just, and that's not even subjective, really. Just like, technically, I mean, you can like other artists better based on whatever your style preference is. I mean, I like Gil Kane better than Neil Adams. Neil Adams is 10 times the artist. It's just, so Jim Lee has been, he achieved his mythical status.
I like the way he draws Batman, But I think Gary Frank is to me is a better, and same with Neil Adams.
Okay, the Brad Meltzer Justice League. Ed Bennis was on art for like the first year and a half. Plenty of Batman. Check that out.
Yeah, it's the thing though, is a lot of people only know Jim Lee because all the other ones are blacklisted by Marvel or DC and stuff, so they haven't really done anything recently. So a lot of people will just say like, "Oh, Jim Lee's the greatest." I'm like, it's like not really. And like I do like some of his stuff from Hush, but like, I agree. The Gary Frank and Batman Earth 1, the way he draws everything is 10 times better than Jim Lee. But Neil Adams, I like the way he drew his drawing. Was it Demon Knight, or was it called Night of the Demon, or Tales of the Demon? Where was the one who introduced in the Raj as Ghul? That is awesome. That'll always be great how he draws that. But they all have different styles, though. That's the thing. I like Neil Adams' styles. I like the way Gary Frank draws the Bruce Wayne. I think he's probably the best out of them for drawing Bruce Wayne's face and stuff. But I also like Dan Mora too. Ivan Rice, Clayman, Gary Frank, and Jason Fabek are the modern Mount Rushmore for artists. Yeah, and it sucks because they're not on DC titles. I mean, I like them on Ghost Machine, but man, like, Batman Earth 1 is just, I just love the art on that with Gary Frank. But yeah, unfortunately, most comic books today, they have art on there, and it's mediocre because it's rushed. You know, and it's to make, and these guys will take the cheaper money or payouts. But anyway, though, we're gonna end it here. There's only 3 people watching. I'm not even one of them. My phone's off, so we're gonna leave it right here. Leave a like, click do all that fun stuff. Check out our Cliff link. If you haven't shared out the stream, please do that. And we'll be back tomorrow night around 8 p.m. Eastern. I haven't really decided what we're doing, but it'll probably be something Golden Age. Or it might be. I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do a Spider-Man book. We'll do another Spider-Man. I don't even know what Pixel's joining us. I think he's still in Tennessee, but I would love to get another one of those, or even a Batman Superman one. But thank you for being here. Thank you, Breen, for staying awake. Geekeasy for showing up. And Marania, you too as well. Once Like Dude, Jackson, Krauser, thank you for watching on Twitch. And then we had Cheeseburger Comics and Once Like Dude. I think I said Once Like Dude, but and Ethereal Dragon and Cheeseburger Comics, and anybody who has said anything hello at all. Thank you for watching. Have us in the background, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Good night, anybody still watching.
See you later.